always been drawn to music. I did a music video in high school to a Slick Rick song that I was an intern at a cable station and just shot it when video cameras came out. And so I think it was always there, but the short story was after college when I had my nose up and only wanted to do movies. I ran into Gus Van Sant, who was the first movie director to sit down and talk to me out of film school. And he was doing music videos, and he said, you should do a music video. And so I turned on the TV that night, and I saw a lot of F. Gary Gray's work, TLC Waterfalls and things like that. It was inspiring, and I basically then focused on videos as a way to practice directing. And then I guess the accident or the unexpected part of that journey was to succeed at it so well that I got sort of known for it and stayed there for so long. But Star Wars is when I realized I had a certain relationship to filmmaking. I emotionally connected to that format and being a receiving person on that. And then I think as I got older, I started to realize that I wanted to tell stories or be involved in the fantasy of what film is. I always had a love for music. I think I put my finger on it when the music video career started. But I don't think I didn't see it as what I wanted to do when I was in high school. That I was much more focused on wanting to do Star Wars and big movie type stuff. I think that my generation was certainly inspired by film. It seems like the current newcomers to videos are all over the place. I think there's quite a lot of inspiration from photographers. There's inspiration from all over now. But during my little window where I had maybe 5 or 6 other video directors that were my peers, it did seem like all of us were driven by big movie ideas, and me specifically. I think my bizarre sort of take on it's probably where I stood out in videos because I wasn't a disciple of music videos. I was a disciple of film. So anytime a music video wanted me, I would try to bring my film love over there. And even though sometimes on set that was hard, people, oh no, we just want to see her sing. So that constant drive to do the things that inspired me sort of made my videos different, I think, without me even realizing it. And I think, I've had different relationships with different genres of music. I think in hip hop I was a little bit of an anomaly to do so well in it, but at the same time not necessarily be, so obviously entrenched in the culture of it, But I grew up on hip hop, but I'm from my own little pocket of the world, and so it's that juxtaposition and that collaboration between two minds, like me and Missy. Like she had a different upbringing than me, and she does what she does, and I do what I do, and when we play together, it's like we share, we overlap, and we share, and we expand, and it became something great. And I think that was really exciting for me to sort of, I guess, make hip hop accessible to a larger audience. Connected. My sales rep who gets me the jobs was actually from the Bay Area. I'm from the Bay Area. E40's from the Bay Area.
Nice.
And so it was a natural, I was a young film student, could do it for $2. All of it's different, and I think really it was just maybe me and one other director that had that opportunity to jump, and I noticed that, but it's definitely a part of who I am. If you looked at my playlist, it's like it would go from Jay-Z to Coldplay to, and I feel like rappers now, like Kanye is representative of a world culture, and he has sounds that are borrowing from, but that wasn't then. So when I was doing that, it was I felt like it was the joy of my creativity to hear what Dave Matthews has to say, and then the following week work with Jay-Z and maybe bring some of that to the table. And then Jay-Z was so smart about marketing, but not necessarily from a book way, but the things that he said about which songs he would release and why, and when he would change. Like he changed the video the day before we shot it because, you know, it was like, you know, and he would explain, and it's what people in the corporate world spend millions of dollars researching, and you know, like he just had
a natural sense.
It was a natural marketing sense that I swear, like agencies are built around the kind of ideology he shared with me, and so I've gone on to do very well in commercials, and I always think that that a lot of that had to do with knowing Jay, you know, that and hearing how he processed and understanding when I get hired to do iPod, you know, that what they're after and how to bring that truth to it. It's because it wasn't marketing for him.
Okay.
To him, it was the street.
Okay.
It was like, it's like peddling a dope or something. You know, it was just like, hey, this is what the street wants. Oh wait, no, they want that one.
Yeah.
You know, like, and he would be honest about it versus being like he just had a real good ear to the street, and he understood how to understand. He understood how to understand his audience.
Okay.
And another person who said that to me along my journey was Michael Bay. It's like, always know your audience. And those two people are tycoons of entertainment. Well, I think because I jump around so much, my audience is not as well defined as other people's. So I probably have an audience that like my hip hop videos. I might have an audience that like my Britney videos. I'm not sure that they're the same people. And I love the introduction of social media. I'm a little bit on the baby steps of it. I'm trying to get up and running with it, but I really have enjoyed how just this year I went back to doing music videos out of love for it, really. And the social media is really impactful.
Yes.
Like I'm on set shooting Sierra, and my phone starts going crazy because she tweeted something, and I'm seeing that people like that I'm working with her. So I'm very excited in the future years to build that social media side up, and to build a knowledge of who are my fans and who are those folks, because most of my name was built on going through the MTV funnel. The first step always is an artist or a label will send me the song, and then I have just a very instinctual love for music. I've never worked with Coldplay, but look at their videos. Their videos are over here and their lyrics are here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I've been almost too literal for Coldplay, so now when they call next time, I'll be like, I'm going left.
Yeah.
I'm not going to write what your lyrics are about.
No.
I learned my lesson. It's just make sure that the artist, what is the artist into? So Limp Bizkit, it was one of my favorite videos. Same thing. I wrote what I thought he wanted, and he's like, what the fuck is this shit? And I was like, oh, you know, he's like, write that crazy stuff that's in your head. I'm like, okay. And then I wrote one of my favorite videos. So, you know, and the other times like it was Outkast, Bombs Over Baghdad.
Amazing video.
And that was, funny enough, Gary Gray was supposed to direct it. And then, so it went from like what would have been a normal $400,000 budget. It went to $1 million because Gary's doing it.
Wow.
And they moved it to Atlanta, and Gary's like, I can't get on a plane. I don't know, he had a movie or something he was doing.
Right.
And I was at the same company. And so Gary took Miss Jackson. I was supposed to do Miss Jackson.
All right.
And Gary said, no, I'll do Miss Jackson and give Outkast, or give Bombs Over Baghdad today.
Wow.
So I'm like, suddenly I get my first $1 million video, and I'm off to Atlanta, and Gary had written the treatment, and I get there, and Andre changed everything.
Wow.
He's like, no, I don't want to do that, I want to do this. And so sometimes the artist is so collaborative that they give you a roadmap, and you just have to trust that journey. And then other times they want you to create. You know, Janet tends to really like to, you know, she wants to, where can you take me?
Oh,
This is
wow.
my song, where do you want to take this? Ideas I've written that I would love to have done, but we're just too far left for the artist or where they're at. I always seem to do that, and I've lost jobs because of it. And you know, I come from a school of thought where there's potential in everything. So I usually will assess the potential of that situation. Very rarely, but maybe once or twice, I've actually shot a video to a song I don't like.
Wow.
And that was in the early days when I had a lot of machine around me, and it was just, they were just booking dates, and I've since stopped that because it was, you know, it was 1 year I did like 43 or 44 videos.
Wow.
Janet called me, played me the record, and said she wanted to shoot in 2 weeks.
Oh.
The idea on that one, first time for me and Janet, where she actually was like, she had an idea. She wanted to be kind of in a house, singing the song quietly in a house, and so that just sort of evolved from there. That was just me, but I mean, she's a friend, and I just, you know, I think she's so beautiful in the way that she communicates, but it's taken years to get there, but I'm at a point where I feel comfortable enough telling her what I think would be nice, and so each setup in that video, I tried to get a different chapter of her, of what I love about her.
Yeah.
So there's the, you know, the stairs was, you know, wasn't even trying to be, well, the stairs wasn't even trying to be as much Michael as it was like Velvet Rope Janet.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Michael, the public figure,
Yeah.
and to her, she was really eloquent with it, that she was just explaining, like, you know, yes, Michael's the god of being Michael, but for her, it's a family.
Of course.
And for her dad, you know, she just, that relationship was, and then, you know, her dad had a, you know, it was beautiful. You know, I think my work will change based on the artists I'm working with, and, you know, it's not, you know, that's what's confused me over the years, is I can't see my own vision. Like, if you know, you might be able to, but I can't. I just see my inspiration.
Okay.
And so I could go real dark and twisted if you give me a dark and twisted opportunity, and I could go really bright and sweet if you know, and emotional like Katy. I haven't been asked to do that. I thought about it with Janet, actually, and sort of half mentioned it, but you know, that requires a couple million that someone's got to write a check for, and I don't know. You know, but it really, you know, to me, I think it probably depends on the artist. If an artist asked me, and you know, like, I thought about, like, wow, with this friendship I have with Janet, maybe I can expose parts of what I get to see to the public, and they would love that, you know, and they would love her even more, because you know, there's just such a sweet woman there.
Yeah.
But we have the rapport. We've started talking, maybe something, maybe in the future. But you know, I see when like Scorsese did the Stones, I feel like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to do that with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to him in a couple of years, but I feel like I have that.
Yes.
I have that affinity for him. He might not, I don't know, like, if that's a two-way street, but at a moment in time it was, and I think I could deliver an incredible piece for him. You know, so you know, a creative person needs to have inspiration around them. Trying to stay inspired and have the people around you be inspired, you know, makes it all come to, but you know. I mean, she's one of those artists that we just play well in the sandbox, you know. Like, I don't know how to. It works on a level that's not on it's not on the surface.
Okay.
You know, it's almost like when I did my first video with her, she wanted to get to know. She was moving on from a director she was using, and so she wanted to like get to know me. And instead of like the usual way an artist approached me, she just called or had her people call me up, and we met at the movies, and we went to see Crouching Tiger.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh wow, this is like a major hip hop female artist taking me to see a movie I'd like to go see. And we sat there and we geeked out on the same things, and we geeked out on the wire work, and we, you know, I was like, oh wow, she sees the world the same way I do. She's motivated by visuals.
Wow.
It's not regulated to a culture. It's not regulated to, it's like she's a connoisseur of the world culture, the coolest things. We've flown dancers in from Japan. We've, you know, we've visuals. She's into visual effects. You know, she's into making her life miserable, like hanging her. She hates being hung from the wires, but she always is like, "Yo, Dave, I think we got new wires." You know, and she's, you know, just she's trusted me, and I've tried to give her what I feel is a mutual love for filmmaking, you know, and then so that's a case where the relationship works, and you see that with certain musicians and directors. They have their, and sometimes that moment lasts for a long time, and sometimes it's just a one-off. But but there's a synergy where you got, you know, like me and Sierra just recently, like we really, like, we've talked for 6 years and never did a video, and like, I would say one of the things, well, I guess one of the most full circle experiences is with my Ice Cube relationship.
Okay.
Weirdly enough, I guess I was one of those teenagers affected by NWA.
Yeah.
And certainly was affected by Ice Cube, and didn't really know much of that story. And then later in life, I end up being, you know, important in the hip hop music scene.
Definitely.
And got called by him to do some videos. And then over the years, built a relationship. And then I got called to do some commercials with Cube. And then now I have his email. And then I asked him one day, hey, the Getty Museum is asking me to do something, you know, for my commercial world. Can you give me a free day? And I felt embarrassed. And I asked every artist I knew, and Cube was the first one to be like, yes, I can give you it in 2 weeks. So he gave me a day, and I took him around, and I worked tirelessly to create a piece that exposed the fact that Ice Cube was going to architect school before NWA. Next thing you know, like the world, he's now, when he does an interview, they ask him about this, and I'm like, wow. Like I was a part of not necessarily a public brand or a music video journey for an artist, but I was actually a part of his legacy in a way, and it was accidental, and I think it was accidental for him too. He was like showing up, let me give Dave a day. The fact that got seen, it was just it was a highlight, you know, because I feel like a lot of the stuff a lot of the experience as a creative person is a lot of things get watered down.
Right.
And so that was a pure moment, and to be recognized for a pure moment is it's a joy, and it's collaborative joy. Like when I see Cube, we have that smile, we have that love.
Yeah.
It's different than, oh, I'm the director that's going to direct you, and this is what I was thinking. And that it feels good, you know, and it feels good to have meaningful relationships after all these years. And
Of course.
I have that with Missy. Missy called me recently.
Is it exclusive? I think we could get a little
Nope.
something. No, zipped.
I just got a phone call. That's it.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Coldplay.
Yeah, Coldplay is like, I always felt like, I feel like I can do a lot for their videos.
Yeah,
But I don't know
could
that
see.
they think that. Like if I could actually get inside his mind for 2 seconds, or assuming that Chris is I don't know who runs the creative, but it seems like it's tied to how Chris, you know, or maybe the whole group. I'm not really sure.
Yes.
And until you actually experience how they work,
Yeah.
it's so hard to guess. So I guess what I always had no one's taken me up on it yet, but brands come always and they want to, you know, how do I get this star to be in, you know, I'm like, I had this idea no one's bought off on, but of like, why wouldn't, you know, Coke or Pepsi, you know, music videos have no money. Apple's figuring it out, right? They're funding music videos. Like Pharrell's video was funded by Apple. Everything's changing, and it's kind of exciting. You know, I don't know exactly where it's all going. Yeah, it's weird. There's certain people that like I scratch my head like, okay, well the way I saw myself, it seems like I would have gotten a phone call from her.
Right.
Feels that maybe usually when an artist directs, they want to co-direct with someone they feel close to. So when Missy and I have co-directed, it's
because of that bond.
She's calling me. She's not calling someone else to co-direct. She's calling me because she knows if she has an idea, she knows I'll deliver it.
Yeah.
And that's therefore is the co-direction. You know, is that we have that faith in each other.
I think you've worked with some.
Sam Smith. I was most recent. Adele. I would have loved to have done some of the Adele records. You know, so it's really just a matter of you know. It's like we're all on like in hyperspace. Like Sierra, like 6 years, like I worked with her on Lose Control, and it was like ever since then we're like, oh, we should do something together. And she's done like 30 videos since then, you know, and I've done, you know, countless projects, and it's like, wow, it took us that long just to like unify. Now we're talking all the time.
Yeah.
You know. Leah was precious, you know. I mean,
Wow.
she was just. I mean, she's everything that she was beloved for, and both inside the industry and out. I had a very short relationship with her as I was kind of acclimating into her peer group of Missy and all. You know, like I got the phone call to do that video, and and we were just beginning our relationship when obviously the sad situation happened. So I think that stunted any, I just got to shoot with her for a couple days. She was wonderful. She was very fashion forward. She was pleasant to work with. We did long days. It was a shocking and sad. It's just still hard to digest.
Very.
But it was, I'm glad I got to be in her space.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think there was a lot more to her legacy that got cut short. So. She was on the doorstep to so much. I mean, she didn't get to fully blossom, so it's hard to guess where she would have blossomed to. She was obviously doing movies. She was musically. She was expanding to a very large, impact.
Definitely.
She might have gone global. Maybe she'd be doing some electronic music with Getta, or like she'd be doing some real how I don't know how what Rihanna's doing. I mean, what keeps me up at night is the infinite possibilities of the stuff bubbling around in my brain and trying to organize those and output those in enough time to catch a ride on a job. I'm constantly inspired by the things that just when I listen to music or when I look visually, and it just seems like just that keeps me up at night. How to do it, to do it and do it fast. Yesterday, I was basically been hopscotching between Jay-Z classics, which is probably just nostalgia for me, and Coldplay's Ghost Stories.
Nice.
So it's been just on repeat. Spielberg.
Okay.
Desert Island. I'd have to bring 4 things, sorry.
Oh, okay.
They would be my family.
Oh, nice.
And I couldn't have one without the other. It's all I need. I don't need anything else.
Okay.
That's a tough question that I have that I would answer easily, and I hope it's not a reflection of.
No,
but
it's
I would
honest.
choose the so-so career probably, not because it's a so-so career, but because the joy would be extended. Having the greatest thing of all time in an island in a moment is a very tough way to live a life. I would much rather dance with all the different people that have creativity, and I don't even think that question's possible, as my own career has proven. So
of course.
I think if you have an appetite for creativity, you're likely to have all of it.
Yeah.
Some bad ones, some so-so ones, and some great ones.
Of course.
But if you were to really put a gun to my head and say those are the only 2 choices, the so-so one is a happier life.
Okay.
The next 5 to 10 years, I hope I can finally solve my Hollywood movie and/or TV show presence. I think that's been an overlooked chapter of my journey, and certainly was the first love, and I've never even gotten to express it fully. The movie that I did was so heavily regulated that it's not even, it's entertaining. The performances are fine, but I didn't have control of the content the way I'm celebrated in videos and even commercials.
Yes.
So I'm really trying to solve that. Like, how do I emerge in the movie space with something that represents my voice? And I believe that if I can do that, then I'll have a career in movies. But if I keep doing gun for hire stuff where I'm just following, I don't know. So I would very much like to see that I gain a little bit of respect and traction in movies. And I really love working with actors. The stronger musician relationships I have to me are like what I would have with an actor. And I'd like to see my kids grow up healthy.
Beautiful.
And my wife and me stay healthy. Hi, I'm Dave Meyers. You're watching Prophets of Rock.